Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jay Michaels, and I'm talking to you about the 50th anniversary of the Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival. Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival has been proclaimed one of the top 10 film festivals for the genre around the world, as well it should be. While many of us think of sci-fi as rubber masks and little spaceships with a little string holding them as they go across the camera, Boston Sci-Fi has been helping to elevate the genre by showing us parables of great imagination, of great entertainment, and really thought-provoking work for 50 years. So much so that now even the Academy is starting to catch up to Boston Sci-Fi and realizing that these are films that need to be honored with Oscars. We have with us uh, one of the uh, um, one of the grand dames of Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival, a friend of mine and brilliant filmmaker, an eloquent speaker, an absolutely brilliant man. And I'm so thrilled that once again, he'll be part of the action. And we're talking to Professor Bob White. Professor, how are you?
I am fine, my dear friend Jay. So nice to see you up and about.
Indeed, indeed. Always a pleasure to see you. Tell us what film do we have from you this year in the festival?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I bring you Platypus Silk, a hand-drawn animation brought to life with some computery stuff. And I call it a curious short subject with animation and singing by yours truly, Bob White.
So you've given us a musical.
Yes, it's the latest. It's there'll be a category. Well, I'm not going to talk about musicals nominated for the Academy Award, but anyway,
That is absolutely wonderful. You bring animation every year, and it's usually these fascinating moments that we blink at because they're so rich in stories. What's this one about?
yes, you're terribly kind. So, um, this is a pilgrim, a walker, perhaps a medieval pilgrim, who encounters a city, a strange city. It's perhaps a futuristic city, and at the same time discovers a device, a machine, a a kerfuckle, whatever, and and when this is turned on, amazing things happen. So the story is that simple.
It sounds very simple, but the amazing machine that when it's turned on, amazing things happen. Sounds like our imagination.
Well,
Sounds like
yeah,
it's an
amen.
homage to the filmmakers.
So as you know, I'm in my 80th year, and I've made about 100 short films, teeny tinies. 70 or so have been animation. I began at the School of Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, where I reside at the moment, and we did hand drawing back then. It was a long time ago. It was 50 years ago. Um, it was pen and pencil on paper, photographed at 16 millimeter, film processed, film, printed, whatever. And as the years went by, I continued to, I've been teaching for 50, 60 years, but taking a class every year across the street at the museum school. And as the computers came in, I learned how to do the computers. And as everything else came, I have a telephone that does everything I could do then, because it's on the thing. So I've worked with both 3D computer animation and line art, and I bounce back and forth. And so um, this is my line, my the artwork. Let me tell you, may I show you?
Please.
It began with the picture of this girl, and but it's like I'm going to make a movie now. I've got to. It took me 6 weeks. I was between semesters, you have some time, and it's like, okay, this is my project. I'm going to do my research. I go through books and stuff and say, oh, I liked that. I remember that, and I look at old drawings and things, and I settled on that. I said, I want to start with this girl, because I had been involved in the teaching during COVID, as you say, teaching remote. I had to go from a class that was built around everyone sitting in a computer lab with specialized 3D software to everybody's at home watching Zoom, God bless Zoom, with their, perhaps they had Photoshop, perhaps some very simple stuff. So we moved into line animation. I went back to, okay, we're going to do drawings. We're not going to be able to make the computer objects, the characters and stuff. And so out of that, having to reimagine a lot of stuff, I started to play more with the line drawings and this character. I'll show you the character. This is, this is the pilgrim. um,
Oh,
Very simple, So this was the line drawing that I kind of scribbled out this creature, and I learned some very basic animation. Now, 1976, Yvonne Anderson, wonderful animator from Newton, Massachusetts, the Yellow Ball Workshop. I learned how to draw, walks and things like that. Although here's a secret, if you want your character to walk, Terry Gilliam does this too. It's like give them a very long coat or dress, and you can't see their feet move. So, but I did generate a walk, and so I had the little character walking and walking. I've got something for everybody. This is the city, and it's an in focus. Okay. So this is the city drawing, and and working with those elements, the city, the walker, the crazy machine that you had a glimpse of there. I began to listen to the drawings, and the drawings told me their story. It was like, you know, and spoiler alert, when the machine is turned on, the windows of the city become little screens, and within there you can see floating and moving drawings of the girl and different undulations and stuff. So that's the that's the poetry of my little of my little movie.
I think that's brilliant because you're giving a wink here. Oh, the windows on screens. Okay, very clever. You're also and you're an absolute fount of. You're 80 years old, really?
Yes, it's a delightful. My Christmas cards, I think I sent you one, announced that one night, me mom and I were watching the Oak Ridge Brothers on TV singing Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town I've ever seen. And my mom goes to me, you were conceived in that town. And I'm going like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So during World War II, my dad was stationed in Abilene, Texas. And my mom went to visit, so she knew when I came into the world 80 years ago. So I was like, oh, and Mom, I don't want to know. Well, please don't tell me. Those are the kinds of things that one finds surprising and stuff. But yeah, whoops, earthquake. Did you see the earthquake? Oh, there's another
Your energy, your brilliance is inspiring. It shows that we are always the commander of our universe, and it's absolutely wonderful. You're also an inspiration because how many people shut down during COVID? How many people said, "Okay, I can't do anything," and closed their doors? You went back to the good old days. George Carlin had the joke at one point. He says, "What happens if they turn off the lights?"
Mm.
There you were, the lights got turned off, it didn't matter. You taught your students how to animate with not with with none of the fancy gadgets, none of the bells and whistles that we have nowadays. And I think that's amazing.
It was interesting, and a lot of credit to the students who I mean, oh my gosh, I'm seeing the wave of students who went through a couple of years without, and then coming out of those shells and coming, people who didn't get a high school graduation, didn't get a high school prom, and then coming into a college experience. And for some of the people were, well, I only got 2 years of college, and then there was COVID and all this stuff. So there's a whole different culture moving through until we get past them all, and everybody's back to normal or something like that. But yeah, it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time and a terrible time. We all, my hair went white.
Oh, is that what did it? Okay, good. I wasn't sure. I think it's brilliant because these students, 10, 20, 50 years from now, they're going to have the ingenuity that so many others won't because of your training. And I think that's absolutely marvelous. What keeps you coming back to Boston Sci-Fi?
Oh, I love it. I love it's a vacation. I'm lucky I live in Boston, although the first year I went, I rented a hotel in Somerville, a motel. Rather now I just, I'll teach a class, jump in an Uber and go over and whatever. But it's, 5 or 6 or 7 wonderful days. Uh, and much credit to Garen Daly and his staff, the wonderful people who, through the years, I mean, they they welcome me, they know me, but everyone, the new people, are welcome to Boston, welcome to the festival, given swag, uh, celebrated from the feature film people to the short people, the people with shorts. Everybody's everybody's special, and um, and I get a chance. I mean, I'm happy, very happy, cheerful that I get a chance to be seen. There will be a show. People will gather. Um, i- if I'm lucky, there'll be other filmmakers with me, and we can all take questions and answers. Occasionally, it's just a few of us who talk about our movies afterwards, after the screenings. It's just I've done everything. I have sung as part of my question and answers. I have actually Darren, and I know this is an old story, but Darren invited me up to the stage at the beginning of the marathon, which is a 24-hour science fiction film marathon, and it starts at noon. So it was about 10 minutes to 12. He's killing time, and he says, "Are there any filmmakers in the audience?" And I'm in the way back, and I raise my hand. Bob White, come on down. So I'm zooming down this. It's a beautiful, monstrous 650-seat theater and old vintage stuff. And I get to this stage to approach the stage. There's like 3 or 4 wooden stairs, and I up, fall right on my face. I trip. I just Hollywood gown catches. I mean, and so I'm I- I'm going to somebody goes to help me up, and I say it'll take 2 of you. I'm 200 something. So they're lifting me up like this, and I'm going like, I'm alive, I'm alive, because everybody knows that some Frankenstein and stuff. So there we I walk with a cane. I'm an old man. And so I hobble over to Garen, and he goes like, "How you doing now?" And so he says, "What do you like best about the festival?" And so I start to sing the Rocky Horror song, science fiction double feature. So those are my joyous moments of being at the May You All Fall on Your Face at the Science Fiction Festival and rise up again like the phoenix.
I knew you'd have a snappy comeback. I knew the story that you had tripped. I didn't know what the snappy comeback was. And
Oh,
I could see you standing up going, here I am. You just jump right back into it. It's interesting. I correlated the actor Jim Dale?
oh yes.
Jim Dale, one of his early stage works, one of his early auditions he's known as a physical comedian, or he was known as a physical comedian, and he was trained in the English Music Hall, and he was thinking of a way to enter for his audition, and he didn't know how to do it. And then it came to him when they called his name, Jim Dale. He flung himself out on stage and landed on his face. He then okay, here we go, and he just popped right. So he's in good company with people who do pratfalls. So
I wish mine was a pratfall. It was just a fall. Oh, it's gorgeous. But in every
I'm sure it even more mobilized everyone. You bring up a wonderful point that this is a family experience, that this is everyone's a family. They're coming together for this wonderful vacation to see some amazing work and to just get to know everybody and have a great time. It's a wonderful neighborhood where the Somerville is in. So it's really the year I was able to go, it was absolutely wonderful. The whole thing was a joyous experience for me. So you're rooting that point home.
and it's two parts. It's the festival part, which are the features and the shorts, and
Sure.
then it is the marathon, which starts on Sunday, President's Weekend, and goes to Monday. And those are the people who are the real family because they're sitting together, breathing the same nasty air for a whole day, 24 hours, a half a dozen, 12, whatever movies. And they've been doing it for years. I mean, wonderful Robert and
Robert Villegas. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, who about the two guys who are writing the wonderful book for the 50th anniversary of were actually at the Orson Welles in the very early days of the festival, when it was just. I mean, I went to the Orson Welles and I saw the movies 50 years ago, but I did not plug into the festival as it moved on. These people were there at the beginning and have been year after year after year after year. Harry, just the photography and the design that's going into this book, because the photography and the design that goes into the program each year is just cool. It's cool. So, but in terms of the festival, of course I provide swag, and
I remember. Yes.
this is the artwork for the button that will be available. The platypus silk, that's the girl. There she is in one of the mirrors. Did I say mirror? I mean window. In the screens and stuff. So there will be stickers and there will be cards. Postcards just arrived here. There you go. Platypus silk postcard with a upside down. You just do the thing there, whether this thing visit the Bob White movies site on YouTube. YouTube, everything's you.
Yes.
If you want to see it, so I'll plug it there.
We
I,
all want to see it.
I,
We want to see
I
your.
I'm batting cleanup. So I'm part of the Magical Mystery Tour Feast XMXL42, whatever it's called, 6:30 Sunday night, the 16th of February, 6 hours and half, 6.5 hours into the marathon. So people have been watching movies. Next, can you hear the fire engines? The in one theater they've been watching movies all day, and in the other theater we have our shorts. And so I'm part of a program of 7. I think everybody else added up together comes about to my age. So I'm part of a seven short program, and
That is
excited
absolutely wonderful.
excited to welcome people at that time.
You are more than just a part of a program. You are part of the history of Boston Sci-Fi. When you go to see this, you go to see Bob White. You are part of this history. You can't have one without the other. Period. And it is always a pleasure to chat with you. How has the festival changed? You've been around for years. How has the festival changed?
I've been in it. This is my 8th time as a screening filmmaker. it has, because of the COVID, we learned how to become remote. So this is a two-pronged festival. It is live and it is streaming. So there's a streaming version on Filmocracy, I believe is the format. So as Darren so wonderfully said, we have lived through the world that was the only time you saw a movie was on in a theater, and then you could see a bad copy of it on TV, and then you could have a VHS or a Betamax copy of it, and then you could have a DVD or a Blu-ray, and now you can stream it. And as Terry Gilliam said on his 80th birthday on a special, he said, "We go to the cinema, to the temple, where the movie is big and we are small. But because of the COVID, we became big and the movies became small on our little devices and stuff. Even if it was watching TV, streaming, it wasn't being in his prayer at the end of that event was that, may we all return to the temple, to where we are overwhelmed by the presence of the motion picture."
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are returning to the temple, and if you're wondering who the high priest is, right there on the screen next to me. Bob, it is always a pleasure to chat with you. I wish I could see you this year, but I will be back. I will be back in person there, but I'm thrilled to have this virtual conversation with you. You are always a delight. You are always brilliant, and you are definitely an inspiration to me.
I love you, my friend. Take care. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival. Go to bostonsci-fi.com for tickets, for info on Professor White's film and so many others. Be part of this amazing history. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. All the best to you as usual.
Thank you. Take care.
Ciao.